Good morning, everybody. Hey, hey. 90 babies. That's a lot of that's a lot of babies. No, that's not the right button. What's the right button here? And they started just a moment ago. Beautiful timing by yours truly. Well, the corgi is quiet behind me for the present. But any veteran viewer of this stream knows that this fragile dynamic can change at any point. Over the holidays? Well, I mean, I just stream when I stream. The question is, what is he on the lookout for? It's 500, yeah. I don't... Like, between Christmas and... What? Alright, looks like Hearttt disconnected. Miss Dad, yes, he does. He very clearly does. Something just isn't right in the house right now. I'm waiting for an update from my mom, but hopefully... Because, like, he's having pain in his hand that's, like, very similar to how he was describing the pain in his foot that he just had to get a big operation on. But then, like, the doctors were like, oh, no, it's totally fine. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And that's what they were saying, like, a few days ago. And then they're like, oh, yeah, if we didn't operate within, like, 24 hours, he probably would have died. So it's like, what are you doing? But thankfully, I think he's getting an MRI on his hand either last night or this morning. Was it a stroke? No, it's blood poisoning. That likely comes from his diabetes. But yeah, the way they described it to my mom is it's like strep throat, but in your bloodstream. So, yeah, not good. Yeah, he's hanging in there. My mom spends like 10 hours a day with him. I still have to take care of the house and the corgi and all that, so I usually just stop by for an hour or so. Anyway, here we are, game number 1. It will be between DauT and Hearttt. We'll have the DauTster, our hero, the champion of the people. In the blue is the Malay to the north, and to the south, in the red, as the Magyars. It will be hard. Will we see? We will have to find out. This, to me, is going to be a great test of DauT. Is DauT still able to hang with the big boys, right? Is DauT likely going to beat any of, like, the top 4 or 5 players? Probably not these days. But can DauT still, hang with a top 10 player like Hearttt? I think this could be a very interesting series, or it could be an extremely one-sided series. We will have to see. Anyway. Malay here for DauT to the north, and to the south in the red as the Magyars, who will be Hearttt. Chimera is the best civ for DauT? Why do you say that? Yeah, I mean, Heartt's going to be, I think, a pretty good candidate for getting top 4 or so in this tournament. For Hearttt, though, wall over here, wall over there, you can kind of wall yourself into the corner of the map relatively easily on Heartt's particular Arabia generation, so that's quite nice for him. Stone is still at the front. It's still very open at the front of his base, but there are far worse maps I've seen in KOTD. For the DauTster, into Hera next? Oh. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Yeah, I don't think Hearttt stands much of a chance against Hera. How do you wall this as DauT? And Malay are going to want to wall early versus Malay is the thing. Probably like that. Yeah. Sure doesn't feel good, though. He has no back wood line. Definitely prefer Heartt's map. Source Lewis. Well, Lewis is the authoritative source on himself. Yeah. And we got 4 villagers on wood and a mill. Lake in the corner. Fish boom time. Now, as far as Civ matchup goes, so here's the thing. Are Malay the better Civ in general? Yes. Because Malay are insane. Thanks for the bits, Full Metal Zim.
Let's go Hearttt. I send him good vibes for victory. What do you think his chances are?
Heartt's chances, I think, are excellent in this series. I think against Hera, who he would be running into next, it's quite less than good. But yeah, the thing is, with a very open map like this, Magyars are one of the best civs at applying pressure in early Feudal Age. And Malay are going to have a tough time defending against that. That said, if Hearttt doesn't manage to get a lot of damage done, then things could get out of control extremely fast, as Magyars just are not going to be able to keep pace with the Malay economy. But to be fair, I don't quite think, Hungary has the economic power that Malaysia plus Indonesia has. Nothing else matters? Yep. That's a great characterization, Hans. Duchess, not Duke? Oh, is it? Duchy? Yeah, I thought it was Duchy because of, dukedom or whatever. Oh, well. It's like a word I read all the time, but I never hear it said. Duchess. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Anyway, 19 pop up here for Hearttt, nothing too wild there. DauT is going to be going with a men-at-arm rush. The Corgi has rolled over. Hey, I like learning. Alright, 3 militia. I think Hearttt should be keeping pretty good tabs on these units. If I can click. There we are. Yeah. Beautifully here for Hearttt, and I notably DauT did not leave the barracks until he was in Feudal Age. He did not want this Magyar scout getting any extra damage done. Meanwhile, behind this, DauT is picking up DBA. Hearttt not quite able to get horse color because he doesn't have an eco bonus, and he was up quite quickly. That's it. I mean, Heartt's doing just fine here. The onus is still on him to make something done. I think DauT's walls definitely make the most sense. Way easier than like trying to wall here early on. Just wall to the TC. Double spear. I actually like it a lot. You're gonna need some extra firepower, so to say, against the militia opening. Note that DauT didn't even bother getting men at arms. So the two spearmen, although it's like, it's not just because spearmen are good against cavalry, right? It's just another military unit to throw at your opponent. So I like it a lot, actually, from Hearttt. Just a little micro adjustment. Anyway, 4 farms out here for DauT. Yeah, the small walls make the most sense for sure. Archery range follow-up now coming in here for Hearttt relatively quickly. Note that his range is still down faster than DauT's, especially considering that, you know, DauT's the one who opened with an infantry start and not a scout start. So Hearttt is still likely going to have the advantage here in terms of army production. 1v1 who's... They cancel each other out. It's 1 extra armor versus 1 extra attack. DauT has started his own archer production. Scout's still here hoovering around. DauT with the horse collar tackle. 15-yard penalty. Blacksmith coming in. But still, nothing more than real posturing so far, which is good for DauT. Kind of like Chinese, Malay are a civ that, like, okay, if nothing exciting happens, then Malay are in a really good spot, especially against a civ like Magyars. I mean, you can see the resources lead already. Those 2 militia go down, and this is still the issue for DauT, is that Hearttt has the better army, still has the scouts alive, his skirmisher production was very good, and DauT's gonna need something here. I wouldn't hate to see even more spearmen from him, but the food income is not looking as good for DauT at the moment. I'm just worried for DauT that he just doesn't have enough here. 6 to 7 relics. I guess that's what the kids say. I guess that's the Gen Alpha thing. The second wood line secured. Oh yeah, his wood lines are terrible on this map. Anyway, big fight over here. This should not be pretty for DauT. Dang. Yeah. I mean, DauT can try and take the best fight he can, and Hearttt does not have fletching, to be fair. Spearman might get a couple extra hits. But yeah, I mean, Hearttt just has the better army, 4 kills to 10 deaths. DauT might just need a defensive watchtower. The thing is, if he builds a tower over here, then this gold mine is extremely exposed. Hospital? No. He just had surgery, what, yesterday? He might need another one. He'll probably be there for, like, a month. Anyway, Field Barrow even coming in here for Hearttt. No horse collar yet. 6, 7. There's a gesture as well. I guess I don't spend time around kids. Anyway, Heartt's just out microing DauT at the moment, unfortunately for him. Having a better eco doesn't matter if you can't take good fights. DauT trying to claw his way back into this one. Hearttt is still producing scouts, by the way. I mean, he really wants to apply this utilized pressure, which I think, you know, it makes tons of sense here. Another kill, though. I mean, again, like... DauT needs to make this defense happen. This house has taken 2,500 HP worth of damage. Yep, no arguments at all with how Heartt's played this game. Oh, big argument to how DauT's defending possibly here. I mean, I like that he's making Spearmen at least eventually, and you can see DauT is trying to snipe those skirmishers as best he can, but I just fear that the scouts are simply going to be too powerful, and I feel like I'm probably right, unfortunately. Hello, wise turtle. Yeah, as soon as some reinforcements come in, DauT's, like, maybe he can get, like, another quick wall in or something. This is ugly. This is like the opposite of me. It's ugly. Alright. Rewall is coming in. Rewall was the much less popular precursor to Red Wall, which was an absolute top-tier book series as a Queen-ager. It could have been worse for DauT. I mean, the KD is still good for Heartt, right? He's still ahead in resources destroyed. An alibi? That's true. Yeah, still not able to secure another wood line is quite rough. DauT is selling his stone, but you can see Heartt, of course, his own eco is completely humming along behind it. Oh, DauT lost a Vil. Oh, right there. And now you can see Heartt is going to be looking for Castle Age as well. Woodline? Oh, it's not good for sure. Alibi is like the legal term for your whereabouts are accounted for at the time of a crime. Anyway, DauT is, of course, going to be faster to Castle Age with the power of melee. The issue for him is that there isn't a very good power spike in early Castle Age for him, because he got 7 Scarab, 7 Spearmen, and he's making archers right now. You can see right here the eco KD. DauT lost 1 villager. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Oh, no. And the over-chopping is happening because, again, DauT doesn't have a good wood line. Now all those spearmen are going to go down. That means the reinforcing scouts are going to do work. I mean, yeah, DauT was almost certainly looking forward, but this is what happens when you have tiny wood lines that are off on Neptune. Crossbowman upgrade coming in. But yeah, Heartt's going to be in Castle Age in just a moment. Still taking very good fights. Why not? I don't know. Neptune's more fun to say. EC coming in right there. Pluto isn't planet anymore? Exactly. No, it's just a bad map. It's not like a... It's not an unfairly bad map. It's just a bad map. Anyway, skirm upgrades coming in, and defensive skirms with an eco advantage, probably? I mean, melee are pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, DauT's eco is just kind of a disaster. He's got nothing to deal with skirmishers. And the thing is, Heartt's base is now so much more secure than DauT's is. He's able to control significantly more area. I mean, yeah, look at this. Knights aren't very well upgraded, to be fair, but it's fine. Again, Heartt's taking nothing but good fights. Even grabbing Heavy Plow, his eco upgrades are looking quite solid. DauT's going to try and make some Mumok. But unfortunately, we already have monks on the way for Hearttt. And there simply is no answer to the almighty skirmisher. Over in Godalau. What? Well, again, here's the thing. Heartt's going to be ahead in eco. He's ahead in villagers. He's ahead in eco upgrades. He's ahead in army. Like, I know the army value is technically higher for DauT right now, but it's a scarier army for Hearttt. The problem with skirms? What do you mean, problem with skirms? Oh, Bananji, thank you for the raid. Are skirms OP? I don't know. It's hard to say. They're OP as they should be. We just live in a very skirm-friendly meta. Again, both players on 2 TCs. Heartt's even grabbing hand card. I mean, his eco is just humming along. He's picking up relics, and again, I'm hard pressed to find any mistakes that Hearttt has made this game. Very impressive game number 1 performance from him. Ballistic's gonna be here in a moment. See if you can add an extra TC here. With both secondary golds forward and a main stone, it might not be a bad idea to add a forward TC sooner when you have map control. Oh, thank you, Hearttt. So again, villager numbers are even, but the upgrades are so much better for Hearttt, and he is getting that 3rd town center. And I mean, having all those eco upgrades does matter. You have 4 monks on the field as well, 4 red. So he can even heal up those injured units on top of all of the other advantages he'd have. DA are running in. Well, the armies are kind of walking past each other, but you're not likely going to bust through those houses in very quick time. Oh, wait, hold on. That's beautiful from DauT. Great angle. Still, it's not like you have a ton of elephants or anything like that. The A are still running amok. Leather archer armor going to be in, of course, that's going to be huge for the skirmishers. Crossbowmen still don't have the best upgrades, still no thumb ring, still no defense upgrades. You do have ballistics, which is, of course, nice, but there's just so much you need right now as DauT, and I just don't quite think he's in a position to come back here. It's hard to have so many idols. Oh, yeah, just needs to get those lumberjacks working. But yeah, as you can imagine here, Hearttt is going to clean up this army, no problemo. DauT does the best job he can of sniping the CA before the crossbowmen go down, which is good, but it's, like, making the best out of a bad situation, but it's still bad. I mean, DauT just never really able to secure his map, whereas Hearttt is just locked into this corner of the map. Being the much more defensive Civ and having a very bad map against an aggressive Civ is a rough combo. But Heartt's also played this better in terms of just taking good fights anyway. Anyway, Heartt's gonna get another 3-4-ish Bill kills here. Yasakuka Banida. Now, DauT can't afford a castle, so he'll build one somewhere. Is he just going to go for the YOLO castle? Are we going to DauT castle it for game number 1? Because that's what it looks like. It would require a fairly monumental screw-up for Hearttt to lose this. I mean, that's good from DauT. Okay, I mean, to be fair, Hearttt panicked. Hearttt absolutely panicked right there. He tried to snipe the mangonels. He wasn't able to do so. The villagers were all literally right there to repair. No way DauT can snowball this, right? Again, that was the first mistake Hearttt made this game, was that engagement. I don't think that mangonel will get another shot off. Yeah, now they're just intercepting reinforcements. Defensive mangonel is out. Nice attack there. Alright. Rough moment there for Hearttt, but he was able to recover as needed. So, you know, can't be too hard on the guy. GG. Yeah, again, other than that one bad fight, Hearttt just in complete control of that game. That was a DauT game? Yeah, just DauT falling way too far behind. Just could not take good enough fights early on. Look at this dog. I look like Charles the Bold? Oh no! Oh no. No, it's not even the worst comparison ever. I mean, the face is a lot longer than my face, but my face is much more, like, squarish, circular. Yeah, you'll get an upvote for that one. Charles the Bold and North in the same room, yeah. That is pretty good. The Corgi alive? Oh, he's very much alive. Alright, that was Magyar's over Malay, so even a little bit of a draft win there for Hearttt, and we will be getting into game number 2 as DauT is just gonna rock the wild civs here. Putting the Swiss Confederacy? Oh, dang it. I mean, who doesn't accidentally pick a fight with the Swiss Confederacy? Final rounds? You betcha. Until the first wolf. Well, let's see, guys. See if I can get some more coffee. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Danger! He knows. He knows coffee. Oh, is it time for a big stretch? No? Now we're thinking. Thinking. What a dog. Ugh. All right, I am interested to see some Bulgarians. Let's see it, guys. Hearttt the Bread Byzantines here. To the north, DauT with a very early... I guess not that early of a barracks. A reasonably early barracks. Bulgarian cav archers? Maybe. Murber. Man, Bulgarians are just such a fine civ. They're so inoffensive. Anyway, Hearttt is going to be coming in with his own men-at-arm rush, which I think is actually very smart. Because he's like, okay, you know DauT's Bulgarians, said Charles the Bold. Oh no. But yeah, I think actually this is a really smart opening. And you know what? Credit to Hearttt. Hearttt from a few years ago was basically just a hamster, like a full-blown hamster. I feel like Hearttt is, like, in the last year and a half has done a really good job of just sort of, like, adjusting to whatever, like, civ is thrown at him. Like, his understanding of, like, all the different, like, if interactions and whatnot feels a lot better than it used to. Yeah, guys. I mean, having 3 men-at-arms show up your base before the 9-minute mark is objectively scary, but I mean, Heartt's playing this perfectly. Unless he screws this up, which is possible, but unlikely. And look at this. Now there are 2 militia on the other side. Of course, DauT is thinking, okay, I'm the one who's applying pressure. DauT says, I'm the one who knocks. Okay, that was actually a slight micro! Oh, man. With the final hit there, I mean, that's pretty impressive. DauT's not going to be arsing around. Complete script. Well, I don't know what DauT could have done better there. But yeah, guys, the 2 militia have done more than the 3 men. I guess, I mean, you don't have to pay for men-at-arms, but still. But still. A still but. Oh, that's not what you're looking for, DauT. Would love their firstborn. Oh no, has anyone checked on DauT's firstborn recently? That is 3 kids, I think? Yeah, this isn't doing it, DauT. He's a fill behind. He is actually slightly ahead in resources for the time being, but Arson. And of course, Byzantine's good defenses, extra HP on those buildings. This is called Castle, yeah. That's true. And now it's time for the Bulgarian archers. Men-at-arms are forced away. And look at this. Heartt just walks across the map. Heartt's just better defended than DauT is, and DauT's not able to punch in, and he's just taking so much damage on the flippity-flip. Nearly a castle, exactly. 7 farms to 8. And Heartt actually pulling most of his villas off gold. Is right at this point, all he needs to do is just make skirmishers and get a good castle each time, and he's gonna have a huge lead. Six skirms right now to 3. And in skirm of skirm fires, whoever skirms harder will skirm best. You thought I was muted? What? No, I wasn't. For once. I mean, it's a reasonable assumption to think I accidentally mute myself, but not this time. Memeing? I don't know if he's memeing. I mean, DauT just likes Bulgarians, right? So I'm sure DauT genuinely thinks that they're an underrated civ. Like, DauT isn't doing anything gimmicky. He's just playing Bulgarians. I mean, he's certainly using the good men-at-arm rush of the civ, but as we saw, is that it's so predictable going for the men-at-arm rush that it's not like there's really anything great coming from it. No, well, it's to be fair, the Dutch not knowing humor, to be fair. Like, that it checks out. Talking for a bit? Was I not talking for a bit? Anyway, 14 farms, 12 farms. Heartt's still doing a great job. You can see Horse Collar now coming in here for the DauTster. So here's the thing, guys. let's compare Bulgarians to Magyars. So Magyars, they only have bonuses really to play with if they open scouts. I mean, technically, yes, you can open men-at-arms and get the extra attack, but if you can open scouts, you can't. Like, that's good. But opening scouts doesn't mean you necessarily need to get damage done, because the scouts scale well throughout the Feudal Age. And you can use them to take map control, and you can have an economic opening behind it. You know, you can get your farms down very quickly. Opening up men-at-arms, even with the Bulgarian bonus, is still not good for your economy. And the men-at-arms scale so horribly that it's like you still need to get something done with them. You need to get those early villager kills, or at least economic idling. So it's a real problem for Bulgarians. If that makes sense. $16 farms. DauT is selling his stone, but Heartt's still going to be first up to Castle Age. And of course, you're getting the discount on the skirms as well, right? And spearmen, so it's all good for Heartt. He clicks on up, and I mean, again, it's hard to find fault with a whole lot of anything that Heartt's doing. Here comes the stable. Bulgarians typically like doing things on the clippity-cloppity horses. That crap post? I mean, crap posts are good. Like, crap posts are genuinely very good, but it's just, again, they're attached to Bulgarians. I think this is fine for DauT, actually. You know you're not going to be going mass skirmishers in mid-game, because if you're going mass skirmishers in mid-game versus Byzantines as Bulgarians, you're probably just dead. So just try and take the best trade you can. Heartt added in a scout here. You can easily mix in some camels. Now, this is interesting from Heartt. I don't know if it's good or bad, but you have one of each production building. So he's not committed to anything right now. Also, why isn't DauT fully walled? Like, why is this a thing? Still open. Brick lasagna. Did that make another men-at-arm? Is good versus everything. So here's the thing, Wildebeest. Going for the early walls that Heartt went for is not good if you are opening a very passive build. So if you are like going for like these really early small walls and your opponent just like open scouts and just kind of is hanging around, then it's just not ideal. The issue, because you'll fall behind in eco-efficiency. The issue is that, again, Bulgarians have to do something relatively aggressive, otherwise you're not using your civ bonus at all, you're going to fall behind anyway. There is no good passive opening for Bulgarians. But you could say, well, Ornlu, there really isn't a good passive opening for a civ like Japanese. And I would say, yes, that is correct. But Japanese are still better equipped to make something happen throughout, like, mid-feudal age than Bulgarians are. And then, of course, they have crossbowmen. Did Heartt add a second stable? Oh, he's actually just doing this off of one. Well done. Anyway, DauT does have his stone income. Yeah, there's another TC. And to be fair, eco upgrades are better for DauT. Yeah, DauT's making swordsmen at the moment, which, yes, they are pretty good against camels, but he doesn't have any upgrades for them. Have neither? Yeah, exactly. So again, this is sort of one of those situations where, are Bulgarians a bad aggressive civ? No, not at all. But, like, why play Bulgarians when you can play another civ? It's the difference of rolling Bulgarians on ladder and, like, them being okay versus picking them in a tournament setting. Anyway, this is actually very good for DauT. This is Hearttt not respecting the amount of monks that DauT has. Okay, that is very good for DauT. That's not at all dead, by the way. And that's a nice snipe, too. Okay, that was a very good 30 seconds for DauT. Well, I mean, the double sables force the camels to be made in the first place, and the longswordsmen are just sort of actually a good accompaniment to the knights because they don't require many upgrades. It's like the opposite of how swordsmen usually are, where it's like, they're not a good unit to mix into your army because they require too much tech, but with Bulgarians, they don't require much tech at all. So you can just mix a few of them in here and there, and they're totally fine. Anyway, DauT's going to come forward for a crep post. And this could work. Second monastery coming in. Just now grabbing Horse Collar. We have the Sanctity. DauT still has a couple monks left. Gale Mail Armor. Might have to start with the crep post in a forward, but not like right on top of his opponent type forward position. Anyway, DauT doesn't really care as much if those longswordsmen get converted, unless his monks just walk right into them, which to be fair is exactly what they're doing, so yeah. Okay, crep post is now coming in, but this went from being an okay fight to a very bad fight. Now we're going to have a castle on its way. It is interesting that Hearttt was mining so much stone, but again, I think this is just an adaptation to Bulgarians and thinking, okay, DauT's probably going to try and drop a crep post on me. And of course, the Cataphracts would crush any swordsman play, right? So, but that's where the Konaks come in. And Konaks are pretty good against Byzantines. With DauT unit control. Yeah, that wasn't the best. But honestly, I still think it's fine for DauT. Yeah, Konaks are really good. Konaks would be considered a very, very good unique unit if they were attached to a civ not named Bulgarians. Like, if Chimera had Konaks, they'd be, like, unstoppable. Anyway, Husbandry coming in for both players. It really just feels like Bulgarians are missing a bonus. Yeah, Byzantines aren't the best civ for pushing. So defending your base with crep posts, or, you know, asserting map control with crep posts is often very, very powerful. And now DauT has a Cav Archer on the way. I mean, his opponent has camels, monks, and I guess just camels and monks. That's a little bit ugly, guys. Actually, DauT could kill all those monks right there. They all use their faith. But DauT would have to be paying super close attention to that. Sacking something like that. But, like, that just feels like, you know, a rip-off of the Inca bonus and a rip-off of Kshatriyas for Gujaras. Again, it's like, Bulgarians are they're a cool civ. I like Bulgarians. They certainly have a lot of fun units to play with. It's just like, they're not quite there. Anyway, Heartt's going to pick up Relic number 3. He's adding in TC number 4. Eco upgrades are identical. Res collected should be basically the same, but that's always going to be good for the Byzantines player. And there's him. continuing to press forward. Yeah, let's also see what Muisca, Tupi, and Mapuche have. It'll be interesting. No, Hearttt doesn't have a huge army, but he doesn't really need one. And my concern now for DauT is that he's just going to go Hussar Cav Archer. And Bulgarians don't really have the best Hussar Cav Archer. Like, if you really wanted to make Bulgarians competitive, you'd give them a Cav Archer bonus. But then it's like they're a knockoff of so many other civs. Honestly, Bulgarians might have been better with the Jurchen bonus and having another unique tech other than Stirrups. Apply to Cav Archers, but then that's ripping off Mongols. In turns, I agree. How many years, guys, have I been saying that power creep is the biggest issue for AoE2 balance at the moment? So on the ladder, I mean, that if that isn't an indictment of using ladder win rates to mean anything, I don't know what is. Like I keep saying, Bulgarians aren't bad. They're just better options. And you can see here that a civ without an eco bonus is really struggling to keep up with just how efficient everything is for Byzantines. A bad matchup for DauT in terms of player or in terms of civ? Civ? I don't know. It's still Byzantines, right? Byzantines still have like a 50-50 matchup against every civ. That said, if there's any civ that Byzantines are actually going to be good against, it's the civ that literally needs to make damage happen, otherwise they fall really far behind. That would check out. Against Bulgarians? I mean, Bulgarians have a very, solid army composition as is. Oh, no. Oh, beautiful. Oh, no. Oh, let's look at the south corner of the map. Look at all these beautiful lumberjacks. Such lovely lumberjacks. Yeah, I mean... That was a pretty strong indictment against Bulgarians. I mean, to be fair, DauT opened men-at-arms with Arson. Even with the saved resources as Bulgarians, like, Hearttt still just opened 2 militia and got more damage done. Resources collected and techs researched were very similar, but Hearttt just had such a huge lead. It's rough. Byzantines over Bulgarians. That with Tatars as well. Not the most common civ pick. Hello. Tatars are like the not underpowered version of Bulgarians, right? They're just a good, solid, balanced civ. If Hera was playing with Bulgarians in the same map against Hearttt, playing Biz, Hera would lose also? Yes. I think Hera would have still likely lost that game. Were Italians admin banned? Yes. Macro would have been better? I mean, Hera would have certainly made it much tougher for Hearttt, but I still think that Hearttt played the exact correct opening against Bulgarians. Oh boy. BOP for team games? Yes. Like, Bulgarians are a very good late game civ. That's not really their issue. Like, Bulgarians are still a very solid closed map civ. Anyway, it's the Khitan mirror. We'll have Hearttt here in the red to the west, and DauT in the blue, as, of course, the Khitans as well here to the east. Oh boy. It's the cracked Huns mirror. Oh, interesting. Sorry guys, I'm reading something very interesting here. Yeah. Alright. Sorry, again, I was reading something interesting about AoE2 that I am not at liberty to say, and had to respond to it. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to. Ethimbal. Yeah, Ornlu and NDA. Alright, so it looks like Hearttt gonna go up on 19 pop. DauT, I mean, also could very well be doing the exact same thing. Oh, he's gonna go on 18 pop! It's wild! It's wild! It's wadonkulous! Ornluindium? Is that a new rare earth metal? That is, for some reason, essential to the creation of smartphones. Happy or sad, Ornlu? Mildly happy. Let's go with that. Mildly happy. Oh. just a 1 population difference in uptime. DauT is going up even faster. And they'll probably just open scouts at this point, from what I can see from their not having a barracks and not having any gold income. Balance team. I applied a while ago to be like a balance designer or whatever for Forgotten Empires, but I think they hired Hallis instead of me, which is totally understandable. Because Hallis is significantly better at AoE2 than I am. Is Hallis the one to blame? I see no evidence to the contrary. Hello, Kinbine. Well, yeah, it just looks like a scout opening from both. That will be up a little bit faster. Hearttt will have a very slightly better economy. Even play anymore? Yeah, it's just he, you know, mostly does probably testing stuff for Forgotten Empires. Like, Hallis and Fiage are both 2K2, right? 2K2, 2K3. So they can play against each other and emulate a lot of, you know, higher level play. I'm under constant NDA alongside anyone else. Anyway, domestication incoming for Hearttt, so his pastures are going to be getting that extra wood on them before they even get going. Will DauT be able to pick it up? I mean, it is a very good upgrade to pick up. Yeah, there we go. But DauT just making sure he's extra turbo safe. Shana sons. Who can Keaton harder? That is going to be the grand question. Yeah, pastures still have less food on them than a farm. Or rather, less food on them than 2 farms. Because with domestication, it's 460, whereas a farm is 2 farms with horse collar is 500. So you're paying slightly less, but you're also getting slightly less in terms of food before you need to reseed it, so to say. Much hope for DauT? I mean, it's fine. It's a Keaton smear, so there are like a few different things you can do. Are we roasting MBL? I'm not roasting MBL. I thought he had a great series yesterday, just got slightly outplayed by ACCM. Am I going to be helping out at Red Bull? No. Yeah, Keaton mirrors are honestly, like, okay. Easy side dishes for the Christmas table? So for Christmas, like, for Christmas Eve, we just set out a bunch of appetizers, and that works out really well. That way, it's very, like, low-key. And for Christmas Day, we do the full British style from, like, my mom's side of the family, so we do, like, a Christmas roast, Yorkshire pudding, and then we just do asparagus and roasted potatoes, and then, like, some sort of chocolate pudding cake for dessert or something like that? Don't remember exactly. Hack upstream? Yeah, something like that. But they're not doing it in a castle this time, so I imagine it's going to be running much more smoothly. Also, look at this perfect pasteurization. So much pasteurization. Guys, though that milk is not getting spoiled within 24 hours. Anyway, Hearttt made a bunch of spearmen. DauT did not, although he is starting to make some at this point. Both players are grabbing forging. Now, DauT is fully walled, which I think is very smart. Hearttt is not. So we'll have to see if DauT chooses to commit there. Although Hearttt does, again, he has more spearmen in the first place, so it's probably okay. He said without much confidence. Okay, looks like maybe a spearman for a scout. Maybe another spearman for a scout. Oh, oh, that's not good for DauT. Oh. Yeah, I mean, so it's 15 bonus damage versus Cav. But does that change? Oh, it's still 3 hits, right? All right, math time. It's 5 plus 15. So 20. So it's still 3 hits. Yeah. All right, tower coming in for DauT. Doesn't feel great. Heartt's also way ahead in resources for some reason. An unspeakable guy, oh no. Rip. Yeah, this tower doesn't feel good at all for DauT. He also does not have any access to resources, whereas Hearttt does have gold. By access to any resources, I meant very specifically gold. Alright, obviously DauT needs to make something big happen here, but that is not likely the path to domestic success. Aramindu. But yeah, with the faster training spearmen as well, it's going to be really tough to actually get in and get damage done before there are a bunch of enemy spearmen out. Hearttt also has 12 pastures right now to DauT's 9, soon to be 10. I don't think there's an overchop here. Clearly I'm wrong. Honestly, I don't actually think this is going to be too big of a deal for Hearttt. Like, obviously it's, you know, annoying, but he's going to kill all of DauT's scouts for 2 dead bills. That's fine. DauT almost has that in idle TC time anyway. More high-grade poking. Yep. Yeah, DauT might try and sell his way to Castle Age, but again, Heartt's going to be able to get there without so much effort. Much, much, much easier for him. Castle Age coming in. DauT is indeed selling resources at the market, but it's, again, a lot of effort for not a lot of... Well, I mean, not for any advantage, right? It's just you're still falling behind. Heartt's getting even more value, and unfortunately, this entire series feels like DauT just isn't quite able to keep up with Hearttt. There you go. $19 kills to 13 deaths. Hearttt more units overall anyway. 12 scouts to 4. Literally 3 times as many scouts. There's stable number 2. He might even... Actually, what? He can't even really go for Step Lancers, right? You don't have any gold income. Oh boy, guys. This is rough. Tactical pause incoming. There is no meaningful aspect to this game in which DauT has an advantage. Oh, hold on, I got something from my mom. All right. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the 10 bombs, Super Mega. Oh, that's very generous of you. Thank you so much, Super Mega. Really, really appreciate it. And welcome to the Wolf Pack, Mirwini, Canuck, Forward Aerial, Atomic Sausage, Gotcha Shiny Cards, Aw Hamburgers, Vellerbauer, Epic Sea Dragon, Sinsils, and Boschva. Oh, congratulations! Congratulations, congratulations. For this now. I can't wait to pass that on to another AoE community member as soon as I get a job. Congrats, congrats. Anyway. My dad seems to have permanent kidney damage. His sodium and potassium numbers are stable but not normal. I have no idea what that means. Anyway, is DauT any less dead from when I looked up a minute ago? It doesn't look like it. Walala. Yeah, DauT's still back down to no gold income. Yikes. Obviously, it's just so much harder to defend against this than for units that aren't Step Lancers. Anyway, this is over. Ketons doing their thing versus more Ketons. For a nephrology office. Not a dangerous level. Yeah, I mean, that's good for sure. I mean, I know my dad's gonna have to have some lifestyle changes going forward. Yeah, I mean, this whole series is very one-sided, unfortunately. Look at that food collected difference. And gold collected, wow. Yeah, I honestly just feels like DauT can't quite keep up with Hearttt here. Well, let's see if DauT can at least get a win. Wait, they couldn't get the MRI done on my dad's hand because they weren't able to turn it the way they needed to. That sounds very not good. Well, like, yeah, his hand is like in so much pain that it's like his fingers are like stuck in a certain position. But yeah, I'm not going to cast the other set anyway. One minute to Saracen attack. His hand now? I and my mom think that it is the same thing that was going on in his foot, so I think it's probably from the blood poisoning. Because it was pooling in his foot, but I have strong suspicion that it was also pooling in his hand, but they just didn't check his hand. Hence the MRI. Makes sense. Oh, thanks, Tiredness. Nothing serious? Well, it was extremely serious for his foot, which is why I really would like them to get a move on. See ya, Super Mega. Alright, guys, DauT, tournament life on the line. He will be rocking the Khmer. He'll be in the blue to the west of the map and to the east in the red. As the Burgundians, it will be Hearttt. One game away from the round of 8. So, I haven't seen too much of Burgundians. I've been hearing that the Flemish militia are pretty good. So we'll have to see if that's going to pan out here. Because in general, I think Khmer are going to be a much better civ. A lot more aggressive potential. More of the same. It was a mirror match, so it was even more snowbally. So we'll have to see. That just pushing in his early gazelles. Looking at DauT's map, the wood lines are not ideal, to say the least. It's like they're all vertical going towards DauT's base. Doesn't give him a good lumber camp position. Anyway, we got the Boers coming in.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Anyway, 11 pop there for the... What?
Si.
Canceled it. I guess he wasn't quite able... Okay. Yeah, I think Hearttt just needed to make sure that his villager production was sustained, and he's all good, so it's like one vill later than ideal, but it doesn't really matter that much. Still a perfectly fine Dark Age here for the Burgundians. So, economically, Burgundians can certainly keep up with Khmer, but it's going to be a matter of you have to invest extra resources into your early economy with Burgundians, and that's going to give DauT a lot of good aggressive potential. But that's, I guess, where the Flemish militia come in, because again, I haven't really seen a whole lot of that. Another piggy coming in. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on there. Looks like Hearttt kind of screwing that one up a little bit, but good micro. I mean, it's just a farm. It's not that big of a deal. It's wild, though, that that would used to be a dead villager every single time, and now it's not. It's, like, not ever going to be a dead vill. You can literally lure a boar from the other side of the map with micro. Alright, feudal age coming in. Was always the thing. It was technically always the thing, but it was never very practical to do due to lag. And a lower frame rate. Like, you could not really ever do it consistently. Anyway, DauT's up on 19 pop. No loom. Hearttt up on 19 pop with loom. Hearttt also a little bit of idle TC time. And is very slightly ahead in resources collected. Micro side of things, yep. Yep. Wait, 2 farms here actually for DauT. Anyway, by all indication, this is looking like a scout opening. It's not that you need a barracks anyway as Khmer, but with the 2 farms added in already, bolstering a little bit of that early food income, not going to gold whatsoever, it really does feel like scouts. And for Hearttt, again, he's not building a barracks until right now, so gonna be for scouts, with maybe some Flemish milita to defend. Ipanji. Alright, DBA on its way. That doesn't even have a mill yet to research Horse Collar, so probably just send all of his vills over there once he gets the goats done. Although I would like it if he was farming with his lower HP vills and not full HP vills, so then he could send these guys forward. Burmese are in a similar spot to Bulgarians, but Burmese are still a very good civ in a lot of situations. Okay, don't know why we're building farms right there, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Horse Collar is coming in as well for Hearttt before the first farm is seeded, and no, actually, so it's not going to be for scouts. He's building a couple of Flemish militia. I thought they were 30 gold. Are they 25 gold now? Let's see. Can't see. Let me double check. Yes, 30 food, 25 gold. Yeah, so you can make 2 Flemish militia without having to mine any gold, which is pretty nifty. The niftometer is quite high. Anyway, Spearman is here to help defend. Flemish militia coming forward. Of course, you do have to be quite careful of them. Remember, they do have 1 in native melee armor, which makes fighting them with villagers more tricky than you would generally prefer. I can't believe they buffed their speed, so it's literally 0.02 slower than a men-at-arms. Like, what on earth is the point of making it 0.02 tiles per second slower than a men-at-arms? So bizarre. Anyway, defensive archer here for DauT. He's doing just fine. Ooh, Hearttt is getting housed. A little bit awkward. DauT coming forth with his scout. His scoot. He still doesn't have a mill at all. So no horse collar available to him, and he's just missing out on all of his food. 750 food from the forage bushes. Don't march as fast. Yeah. But these guys are peasants. They are literally professional soldiers. They're made from the barracks. What's DauT's win condition? I mean, we're in feudal age. We don't really need to think about win conditions at the moment. Neither player has done any damage to the other. Resources collected even still slightly in favor of DauT. He still has map control thanks to those scouts. Heartt's kind of stuck at home. Like, he's just doing fine. Adding in a house over there is to sort of preemptively deal with an overchop. And a defensive tower very early on for Heartt. Playing quite safe. Used to be bad on it. I still, in general, think they're not the best. But like I said, people have really been liking the Flemish militia as a feudal age option. Anyway, DauT can just hop through the house there, and he will also be forced to build a defensive tower, so that's all even. So the back gold is very nice for DauT. Touching on the way. Got a few archers here. Out macro Heartt. Oh, well, I mean, DauT just needs to play a better game across the board, right? He needs to not take as bad of a fights. But DauT doesn't even usually win by out-macroing people. He usually wins with better decision-making. Hera wins by out-macroing people. By having just perfect early game. And then also being extremely good for the rest of the game as well. Anyway, both players just being a little bit annoying to each other. At the same time, he does that too, for sure. But considering how passive Hera plays most of the time, he generally wins more games by out-macroing people. Although he probably could win by out-macroing people too. Other opinions on it? So I haven't seen it, but I was told that it has to do with power creep. And if it's about power creep, it's literally what I've been, you know, yelling at the clouds about for years. Oh, but when Ornlu says it, oh, it's just some weird guy who doesn't know AoE 2, but when the pro players say it, oh, they're the ones who know everything. He's saying power creep is good, then he's a goober. What's your elo? Yeah. And yes, the average Redditor, Twitch chat, Discord member, YouTube commenter sounds exactly like Kermit. Well, DauT can't research Horsecollar because he didn't build a mill until like right now. Anyway, DauT will still get a faster castle edge time, and again, he like even against Burgundians, DauT's eco is still a little bit better. Their eco is very, very good. Too much on execution. I miss Piggy. I can't do a Miss Piggy voice, so nobody. Anyway, Castle Edge is on the way here for DauT. Whatever else the Civ can make. What examples? Cav archers and skirms? Warrior priests? Yeah, but it's not like you see warrior priests, mass warrior priests every single game with Armenians. It's almost always just a few warrior priests to take relics, and then make something else. With the exception of the warrior priest all-in, like, specifically. Anyway, double range is here for DauT. KD is dead even. Heartt is also on his way up. Got some more Flemish militia on the way. is the Monospa. I mean, yeah, Monospas are really insane, don't get me wrong, but I think the latest is an even better example. You every game? No, we don't. You see skirmishers every game. I mean, Flemish militia are like the Burgundians' tool to not die early on, which I think is kind of interesting. Uzodras? Or a core part of the civ? Well, I think it depends on the civ, right? Mangudaya are a core part of Mongols, and the civilization is very dependent on it as the game goes on. Then you have, like, samurai, which are a good option, and usually going to be better than the champion option, but not necessary every game. And then you have the, Dravidians, who just never use their unique unit at all and would rather do something else. Alright, DauT is back on stone. It's been a very even game in terms of trades, and to be fair, this is the best DauT has looked so far. We're still gonna need to actually start taking good fights. We also have the extra wheelbarrow upgrade here as Hearttt, which is nice, although DauT is still ahead in resources. But again, this is just all hard out microing DauT. And situations that never come up? Exactly. Like, if there are literally no ranged units on the field, or units that deal pierce damage, or Rumi kill, like, everything. It's such a weird unit. Like, again, I played a game where I forget what civ I was, but I was like in this like super bizarre. Oh, it was Celts. That's right. I was Celts, and I had no way of dealing with a Rumi plus bombard cannon. It was like on Baltic, and it was like a bunch of Arumi and a few bombard cannons, and like I was so stuck. I'm like, I have no idea what to do here. One of the weirder game states I've ever experienced. Anyway, DauT with more knights coming in. Hearttt just kind of with this mix of Flemish militia and skirmishers. Well, it was random civs. He just random Dravidians and I randomed Celts. I actually won water early on. Wodes? That was my goal, but because, again, it was a matter of there's very little space to run around, so I couldn't really use the mobility of Woad Raiders, and he was just sort of able to camp with the bombard cannons and Arumi and just sort of slow push. Because, again, it's on Baltic, right? It's not like it's on Arabia where you can actually spread out. But yes, I did need to go Paladins. I thought Paladins would perform a lot worse. Is Hearttt top 5 now? I don't think so. He's top 10 for sure. I don't know if he's top 5 yet. Hello, Connor Diamond. Just make Hal? Oh, yeah, exactly. You'd have to kind of, you know, like Hera did, famously catch your opponent off guard with the Celt Paladins, but it's hard to do that, generally speaking. Have to raid with the Woods. That's what I tried to do, but again, it was really tough to raid because it's Baltic and there's very little space that the opponent needs to defend. Like, you can only approach from some very specific angles. Anyway, third TC now coming in. But again, like, DauT's doing okay. His eco is still better, and leveraging the power of Khmer. He's on his 3 TCs faster. His army's at least pretty decent. Of course, perfect quick balls there. DauT probably should have been picking up relics a little bit sooner, all things considered, but he's fine. Get the gold unit killed thing on Berserks, but not on Wodes. Biased against Celts? Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think that checks out perfectly. Well, hello, Diff Tom. Oh, he's getting heavy plow now, at least. Handcart coming in for Hearttt. Like I said, this is DauT's best game so far. He's doing just fine. He's got Knight plus Crossbowman. His eco's still growing. He's got decent map control. Oh, yeah, well. No heavy plow, no fun. Couple vills killed there. The cheating Hearttt? Well, how is Hearttt cheating? Wheelbarrow coming in now. The Khan's third mission? Oh, you mean Genghis Khan? Yeah, that's a classically difficult one. Boom into Scorp. I mean, he's booming. He still is going for a basic army composition because that's generally what you want to do with Khmer at this point in the game. Just leverage, you know, a decent enough army composition with good eco and apply pressure to your opponent. I have zero qualms with what DauT's doing here. It's just, again, he's not taking the best fights he possibly can because he's getting out microed by Hearttt. I mean, DauT was on extra TCs sooner in the first place. That's not too surprising. Okay, Hearttt isn't making any cavalry whatsoever, which is a little concerning. Okay, he's on his way up to Imp. But yeah, it's just not playing into cavalry whatsoever. He's just defending. Ah, never mind. I lied. He's now going to be making a cav switch on the way to Imp. Another DauT castle? Well, this castle is not likely going to be a DauT castle. There's Cavalier on the way. And DauT is still a little ways off from clicking up to the Imperial Age. Anyway, those Flemish militia aren't likely going to get a whole lot done here. I'm surprised Heartt's committing with them. Why is he doing that? I mean, I guess he's going to get, like, what? 10 vills or so? Not even. 7 vills. For, like, an enormous amount of units. That is not... That's not what you're looking for. Anyway, a minute and a half faster to Imperial Age still is Hearttt. Both players with 2 relics for the time being. Again, I would have liked it if DauT was on, like, you know, 4-1 or something, but it's okay. Light cav upgrade coming in. But, of course, the issue with Khmer is that you just don't really have the best power units in all situations. Battle Elephants, Heavy Scorpions, and Ballista Elephants are all fundamentally situational units. Whereas you can kind of autopilot into either Paladins or Coustelier as Burgundians. And maybe some hand cannoneer support, and that's going to be, like, serving you well in almost all situations. Yeah, I definitely could have walled topside here. Anyway, DauT continuing with his archer production. Ballista Elephant. You have to be very careful for their bombard cannons, but Yeah, I mean, it's oftentimes it's very reasonable for sure. Anyway, more monk upgrades coming in. Why isn't there a trebuchet? A trebuchet on the trebuchet. Anyway, DauT will get that third relic, so we will still be at 3-2 relics. Because, like, is there a king in this watchtower? Infantry. Well, Heartt's gonna grab Paladin here in a moment, most likely. I still think you need to tech into at least one of Battle Elephant, Ballista Elephant, Heavy Scorpion. And I am concerned for DauT over the course of this game that his army simply won't be good enough. No theocracy for Burgundian, so you have to be careful there. What's your elo gate? That wasn't the greatest.
Also, I don't like Hearttt after what's your elo gate.
What's your elo?
Sí. DauT.
What's that even gonna make? Again, I very strongly believe that you need to tech into at least one of Battle Elephant, Ballista Elephant, Scorpion to have a chance in the long run here. And you're not likely going to win this game in the short run. No Trev on the way for DauT. No Bombard Cannons anymore for Chimera, of course. Good ARP? Oh, absolutely. I mean, for the time being. It's not like DauT's going to lose right now because he doesn't have his perfect army composition. Like I said, I just think he needs to be working towards a much better army composition. Paladin's going to be in here in just a moment. Vills at least can hide in the houses, but Arb Hal with Khmer, not the best. $1K sound account, rip. Yeah, people talk about smurfing all the time. I feel like I've never run into a smurf. But maybe that's just me. Six months ago? Ah, okay. I mean, as I'm saying, guys, DauT is going to lose this game because he's max pop and doesn't even have 5k army value with no unit discounts. I mean, sure, this is a little annoying, but DauT Stonewall? I mean, that would be a nice thing to do for sure. But at this point, guys, DauT's just going to lose because he doesn't have a good enough army at all. Like, he has his better eco, right? Like, that he got that part of Khmer down. Well, to be fair to Hearttt, he has the more mobile army, so it's less important for him to wall. Defensive castle in kind of a janky location. I mean, I like the stables on the side for sure, but at the moment, it feels like DauT isn't really working towards a win condition of any kind at all. Faster than Hearttt? Well, DauT was investing a bit more in mid-game, but again, DauT's entire issue this series is that he's not been able to take good fights, and now DauT's just dead in the water. He's lost way too much. And as I keep on hammering into you guys, DauT isn't making a good army. A game as sort of uneventful in terms of neither player getting a huge advantage in mid-game. Burgundians are just going to get to, you know, Paladin, Skirmisher, Hand Cannoneer, Bombard Cannon. And DauT is just not going to win with just Halbs, just Arbs. Especially with a slower Imperial Age. I mean, yeah, now it's super over. Vineyard's coming in because why the heck not? And unfortunately, DauT is going to end up Going out of this tournament with a bit of a whimper as opposed to a bang. Kind of sad for such a legend of the game. First 2 games yesterday, it feels like it, doesn't it? But yeah, again, there isn't a meaningful aspect of this game in which Hearttt is behind. Anyway, GGGL next. I'm sure DauT feels pretty annoyed about his performance there, but honestly, it just feels like there wasn't a good way for him to get an advantage versus Hearttt, who just had the cleaner mechanics and good decision making. Unfortunate, though. Yeah, DauT is out like a trout. Which DauT showed up? I don't think it's like a, oh, the bad DauT showed up and not the good DauT. I think just DauT showed up, and I don't think that was likely going to be the most successful. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Probably just, cast 1 series a day these days. We'll probably be back tomorrow as well. Also, like, the next series doesn't start for a while yet. Actually, are there games tomorrow? Nothing scheduled yet. We'll see. We'll see, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Bye-bye.